See what it's doing. Hey, greetings all. Dr. X here. Hopefully, I'm going out both on Facebook and on YouTube. I am testing out my live cam right now via Ecamm Live just to make sure that I'm broadcasting. So if you just happen to jump on, hi and welcome. Was this scheduled? No, it wasn't. Y'all know me. Those of you that know me know that, I'm probably making this up as I go. It just is what it is. So just give me a second here to go over and check out what's happening on Facebook because I want to make sure that it's going out both on Facebook and on my Women of Scholar channel because I don't know what Facebook is doing. And hopefully this is working on, it's working on both platforms. Who knows at this point? So anyway, happy Friday to those of you that are watching. This is not a scheduled live cast. This really is an opportunity for me to test the waters again to make sure that live streaming is working, to fix glitches that may be going on. But also, it gives me a chance to just check in with you and see how things are going. So it is Friday, February 7th. For those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Zator Woodley. This should be going out both on my YouTube channel and my Dr. X Woodley page on Facebook. It may be going out on my personal one. I'll figure it all out once I'm done. But I wanted to check in and say hello to you guys today and give you some updates on where I am and what's going on with me. So I think part of the reason I'm doing this is because yesterday I got a chance to go out and walk on a track. I'm calling it a track. It's a paved area over by the Veterans Administration, over by the VA hospital here in Albuquerque yesterday. And it just made me feel so good. Now, last night I was hurting, but it's what you can expect when you haven't used all of those muscles consistently all the time. So anyway, I went for a walk yesterday because it was beautiful outside. It was just beautiful. And it just gave me some energy where I just want to get in communication with people. I posted the videos on my Facebook page and I got some love on Facebook from people. And I really wanted to say I appreciate those of you that responded to those videos. Thank you so much. And I'll keep going. Now, the reason I'm starting with that is because today I'm having to wear oxygen all day today. Now, I'm supposed to be wearing it all the time anyway, but I've been giving myself a break from it from time to time. But today I need to wear it. And I'm sure it's because I've been exerting extra energy over the last couple of days, including that walk yesterday. So for those of you who are not used to seeing me on oxygen, this is my normal state of being. For my YouTube videos, I do take some time and I take it off in between shots, which is why I've learned to edit the videos really well so I could take breaks and be on the oxygen in between scenes on my YouTube videos. So that's why you're seeing me with some oxygen on today. All right, so today I wanted to come and say hi, hello. I'm testing out my everything, but I want to have a conversation with you about changes you're going to see coming forward here on the Womanist Scholar. Even in the naming of my channel, there are going to be some changes that are happening, and here's why. So most of you have found me because of the content I've put up from my course lectures. So I started this YouTube channel way back in 2011, I think it was, around 2011, because I needed some place to put my course videos, my lecture videos for the classes I was teaching. At the time, I was teaching cultural studies, sociology, and psychology at the community college, and also African American studies at the community college. And at the time, there wasn't a server set aside for faculty to put their videos on the server. So, I had been teaching from content. I've been adding YouTube content as part of the activities and the videos I had students in all of those classes watching. And I got like really inspired by watching those other videos. So I started putting up some of my own videos, some of my course lectures. So if you go back and look at, I think I still have some of that content live. Some of the lectures that I put up, I was doing it on my MacBook Pro, which is over here. I was using that camera. I was using little earbuds whenever possible, hooked up to my MacBook for my little students. And I did that for a good 9 years, I think it was, where I was just putting up lecture videos. Well, during that 9 years, about 7 years in, one of my videos took off. Like one of my course lectures in cultural studies suddenly had a lot of people watching it. And the only reason I even found out about it, because remember, I'm just teaching for my students, I'm just putting videos up for my students. And the only reason I found out that that video took off is because one of my associate deans, my associate dean at the time, he contacted me and said, Zatura, we got a student complaint. The student is saying that you're making them watch these videos on YouTube so you can be monetized on YouTube. What you should know is I've never been monetized on YouTube. I just don't meet the requirements. Have never met the requirements to get monetized because this channel wasn't about monetization for me when I started it, right? So I have this meeting with the associate dean, and he's informing me that, students are thinking that I'm having them watch videos on YouTube because I'm monetized. And I said, well, that's crazy because maybe 5 of the 30 students in my class are actually watching the video when I assign it. The only time they're rushing to watch them is right before final exams. My channel isn't monetized. And I'm like, you can't monetize with 5 people watching. I didn't even know all the requirements, right? So he said, no, Zatura, one of your videos has over 10,000 people that have watched it. And I'm like, what? Really? And he said, yes. That same video now has, I don't know, 60, 70,000 people have watched it. I don't know. It's a lot. And it's a course lecture. Like it's me lecturing on my courses. And so that was the first time I ever even heard about monetization on YouTube was because a student complained and said that I was having them watch videos so they can get monetized. Well, the truth is my channel has never been monetized because my channel really has focused on students and lectures for students in my classes. And I think it's wonderful that people all over the world are watching my lecture videos. It means that there's a need for that in cultural studies. I get it. And I appreciate that you're all willing to, check in with me and watch the lecture videos because that's mostly what gets most of the traction on my channel is my course lectures in cultural studies specifically. I have videos for my sociology classes up there. I have videos for some of the psych classes I taught. And I also have videos for cultural studies, which gets the most traction, as well as African American studies, because I still teach African American studies. But I'm saying all of this because I really did just put everything up on YouTube to help my students. And I don't teach cultural studies anymore. Like I have not taught cultural studies since around 2000. It's coming up on 5 years since the last time I taught an introduction to cultural studies course or a pop culture course or any sociology courses. Like I don't teach that anymore. I haven't taught that for a while now. And the reason I didn't teach it for a while is because I was a full-time professor in learning design and technology. I taught about using technology in your classrooms for like 8 years, I think it was. I was a full-time tenured professor in learning design and technology in the College of Ed. And I was teaching still part-time cultural studies. I was still teaching my cultural studies classes part-time. But I haven't done that in a long time. For me, 5 years is a long time. I still teach Africana studies. I teach one class a year. I was teaching once a year. Now I'm teaching one class a semester in African American studies. But that is not what I do anymore. I'm not a full-time professor anymore. So over the last year, year and a half, I've been trying to include content on this channel that isn't my course lectures. Now, I've done some updates on some of my course lectures because I just feel sorry that you guys aren't getting the information, the new information. You're watching all my old lectures. So I've updated it some because I felt bad that you guys were still going to the old course lectures and I wanted to update that information. But I really am not teaching that subject matter anymore. Now I am working only part time. I teach part time, but I work full time in finance and, and taxation now. Like I own a company where we do tax preparation, tax advising. We do advising on taxes for strategies for small business owners. And I do a lot of finance work now. I don't teach cultural studies anymore. And so I'm saying all of that because I retired from full time teaching in higher education back in 2023. We're in 2025 now. And even though I've updated some of those videos, that was a temporary transition period for me. I, I don't teach that subject matter anymore. So while I appreciate you guys still leaving comments and asking me for new content around new theories that are coming out and stuff that's happening around the world, that actually doesn't pay me anymore. Like I don't work full time in higher education anymore. I only do that part time now, and it's one class maybe a semester. Maybe in the fall I might teach a couple two, but for the most part it's just one. So, I'm saying all of that because I want you to know that in the future, as I'm moving forward, I'm transitioning out of the higher ed content and now focusing on the content that relates to what I do now for a living, which is accounting and finance. And I know those for a lot of you seem like totally and completely different worlds. And in a lot of respect, it is. But now my company, because of my business, the only interactions I really have with higher education at this point is that I do dissertation consulting and I do academic writing still. It's part of the nature of who I am. And so I still do that. And I'll be producing more content around those areas that relate to higher education than I will around cultural studies since I don't teach that anymore. I haven't for about 5 years now. Now, here's the thing that you should know. I appreciate that you guys still watch that content on my channel and you're still enjoying that content on my channel. I am not going to take those videos down. I'm going to leave those up because at the foundation of who I am still a womanist scholar. I'm still really committed that people get their doctoral work done, their dissertation work done. I'm committed that people still work full time in higher education. And I'm really committed that people of color continue to do that. As someone who was one of the only Black faculty in her department, I think I was the first Black woman ever hired in my department when I was a full-time faculty member. And I'm still the only Black professor a lot of people ever see when they come to a college or a university. And so I get that. I got that. And that is not who I am anymore. Like, I'm not a full time faculty member in higher education anymore. I work in a private company, I work for myself. But I still provide dissertation coaching, I still provide services around. I just finished a dissertation editing. So if you're interested in any of that, go ahead and go over to my website, thewomanistscholar.org. It's womanistscholar.org. You're welcome to go over and check out the services that I provide for people in higher education. But the content of this channel is really about to change dramatically because that is part of a life that I have retired from. And now I'm going to move over to the life that I still lead, which is, or the space that I still work in, which is around taxation, accounting, and finance. Because if I'm going to be contributing and have content come out on these channels, it really needs to reflect what I'm doing in life now. Because the last year, 2 years, has been about me getting physically well again in attempts to get off of this oxygen. I don't want to be permanently on oxygen. I may have to be, but I've been working really hard to get off of it. And what's been supporting me and financing the endeavor is the work that I do as a full time tax person and a full time business owner, part time teacher, and part time pastoring. So I'm a pastor too. So those are the things that pay for my time now and pay for my life now. And this channel really needs to be supporting that at this point. So I wanted to come on here and tell you that I'll be responding back to those of you who have left comments for me on some of those old videos. And like I said, I'll just go ahead and leave those videos up. If they still benefit you, please feel free to use them and utilize them. Just know that I don't work full time for the university anymore. So if it's taken me a little while to get back to you and respond to some of the comments and the questions you have around cultural studies, sociology, psychology, I'm getting to those. I'm responding to those. Just know that I haven't taught full time cultural studies full in any kind of capacity, like major capacity, for the last about 5 years. I stopped teaching learning design and technology full time in around 2022, 2021 or 2022. And I've only been teaching one Africana Studies course a year since around 2023. Although last year I taught twice during the year, taught it twice during the year. Because the rest of the time I do tax stuff like tax strategy and teach people how to have enough money where they can stop working and that kind of thing. All right. So you're going to see more of that coming out because it supports what I'm doing right now. I'll leave my videos up. And I think today was a really good test for me of my eCam Live program and going live. So I'll now end today's live cast. Thanks so much for those of you who happen to watch this along the way. I'm going to stop the live cast now so I can check and see what happened, check the servers, expect more live casting to be happening. That's why I'm testing all of it now, because I want to be able to come and talk about some of the stuff that's coming down the pike from the White House, some of the stuff that's going on around the country, because even though I don't teach cultural studies anymore, I do have opinions about what happens. All right. If you have questions about this video or anything I've talked about today, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and leave those in the comments and I'll respond to those as well. Listen, thanks so much for your continued support of me and this channel. I am Reverend Dr. Zatura Woodley. Thank you so much for watching and have a terrific day.